I used to think scarecrows were harmless, just old straw stuffed into old clothes, nailed onto a wooden post, and forgotten. But that was before it started moving. Before I realized every time I looked away, it got closer. And last night, it made it inside the house. I grew up on a small farm my father left me. Isolated fields, endless quiet, and a single scarecrow standing guard in the middle of the corn. My dad built it 25 years ago. Old flannel shirt, faded jeans, an oil-stained jacket. But the face was the worst part. Burlap stitched with thick black thread into a crooked smile that never looked right in daylight, and looked even worse at night. He always said it kept the crows away better than anything money could buy. When he died 2 years ago, I left it as it was. It felt like keeping a piece of him alive. 3 nights ago, I was sitting on the porch, drinking a beer, staring out over the cornfield. Nothing unusual, until I noticed the scarecrow was facing the house. It never faced the house. It always looked toward the field. I stared at it for a long time, wondering if maybe a storm had twisted the post. But the weather had been calm. The next morning, I walked out to check it. The scarecrow was exactly as I remembered it. The post was firm in the soil, not shifted at all. I convinced myself I'd remembered wrong. But that night, when I stepped back onto the porch, the scarecrow was closer, maybe 10 feet closer to the house. I stared at it for a full minute, and it didn't move an inch. Eventually, I shook it off and went inside. At around 3 in the morning, I woke to a soft tapping. Tap, tap, tap. It was coming from the window beside my bed. When I pulled the curtain aside, my heart nearly stopped. The scarecrow was standing at the edge of the yard now, far closer than it had ever been. Its head drooped slightly to the left, like it had been caught mid-step. I rubbed my eyes and blinked. When I opened them again, it was 2 feet closer. I stumbled backward. I blinked again, and it was closer still. Like it had moved in the fraction of a second, my eyes were closed. I grabbed my phone and shined its flashlight at the window. The scarecrow froze instantly. I kept the light on it. My eyes were burning, dry and blurred, but I forced myself to keep staring. After nearly a minute, I blinked, and the scarecrow shifted forward again. Just a little. Just enough to know it wasn't my imagination. I backed away from the window and locked every door, every window. I stayed awake until sunrise, terrified to blink. The next day, I went through Dad's old things. I didn't know what I was looking for, only that something wasn't right. At the bottom of a wooden chest, I found a small leather journal he kept. Inside were entries about weather, repairs, planting schedules, normal things. But then the tone changed on one page. It's awake again, only moves when you blink. Must never let it reach the house. I felt cold reading it. There were more entries. It waits, always watching. It remembers me. And the last one. If it ever makes it inside, lock yourself in the bathroom. It can't cross a mirror. I didn't understand what that meant. Couldn't decide if he was losing his mind. But that night, everything made sense. Around midnight, I heard footsteps on the porch. Heavy, wooden footsteps. Thunk, thunk, thunk. I swallowed hard and turned off the lights. The footsteps stopped right outside the door. A shadow leaned across the bottom crack. Straw-stuffed boots. Then the doorknob rattled. I forced myself not to blink, but my eyes were already tired, burning from the night before. My vision blurred. I blinked once, involuntarily, and the door shook violently, like something hit it from the outside. I blinked again, and a long straw arm slid under the gap at the bottom of the door, feeling its way across the floor. I ran to the bathroom and locked myself inside. The footsteps followed me across the hallway. I could hear it breathing, slow, rasping, like air passing through hollow straw. The bathroom was the only room with a large mirror, and I remembered my father's note. I pressed my back against the tub and stared at the mirror in front of me. Every few seconds, I blinked, terrified the door would burst open between blinks. The footsteps stopped outside the bathroom. The handle on the door turned once, twice, slowly. Then it stopped. Silence filled the whole house, thick, suffocating silence. I stared into the mirror, barely breathing. Then something behind me moved. At first I thought it was a trick of my tired eyes. But no. Over my shoulder, reflected in the mirror, I saw the Scarecrow standing directly behind me. It wasn't in the room physically, only in the mirror. Its burlap face drooped, its stitched smile twisted, its head tilted at a too sharp angle. I didn't dare turn around. I just stared at the reflection. The Scarecrow leaned closer in the mirror, its burlap face nearly touching mine. I squeezed my eyes shut just for a second, and when I opened them, it was gone from the mirror. But outside the bathroom door, I heard slow footsteps walking away. In the morning, the house was empty. The Scarecrow was back in the middle of the field, facing the corn like nothing had happened. I packed what I could and left the farm behind. I haven't gone back since. But sometimes, late at night in my new apartment, I hear something faint. Soft wooden footsteps. Slow. Heavy. And every time I blink, I swear the sound gets a little closer.